Live from New York, it's Ask This Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Ask Engineer. It's me and Lady Ada, the engineer. With me is Mr. Lady Ada on camera control. And we're here at the Adafruit factory. This is where we do all of our engineering, designing, testing, shipping, supporting, coding, all the goodies that you love to use in your projects, in your cosplay, in your crafting. It all happens here at Adafruit. And right now we're taking a break and we're going to do the show. So the factory is quiet, machines are asleep, and we've got a full hour of amazing making, hacking, coding, crafting news. Tell you all about. We've got so much stuff on this show. It is jam-packed. We've even got some discount codes for you. What's on tonight's show, Mr. Lady Ada?
There's a lot of stuff going on. On tonight's show, the code is Mooney. 10% off the Adafruit store all the way up till 11:59 p.m. Everything except for gift certificates and AdaBox. The code is Mooney. Use it or lose it tonight. But when you do, it supports us, an open source hardware company in New York City. We do not have loans or venture capital. We are an independent company, and we also just had the entire company have the day off for voting. We were able to do that because we could afford to kind of be closed for part of the day. So please pick up something, use the code Mooney, and we'll be able to hopefully continue to do cool things like that, and of course ship hardware and more. Show and tell people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Lady Ada will go over those and more. Pack the mailbag. We'll stop by, read your emails, letters, and more to us. Time travel, look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineer, current events, and more. Help wanted, we have some new amazing jobs and skills posted on the Adafruit's jobs board. Made in New York City, factory footage from here, New York. 3D printing, no one Pedro. New products, top secret. We'll answer your questions. We do that over on Discord. If you haven't already, go to adafruit.it/discord, and we will answer your questions all the way towards the end of the show, last 15 minutes or so. And we also have a trivia question where we'll give away something.
Ooh, free stuff.
Free stuff, all that and more on, you guessed it,
Ask Engineer.
Okay, Lady Ada, the code is Mooney.
Mooney or money? I don't even know.
Mooney?
Mooney?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I've heard it.
You say Mooney.
Money.
I say money.
Heard it pronounced
You
every way.
say-
But when you type it, it all just
Yes.
works.
10% off.
Yeah, and speaking of,
Ooh, free stuff.
yeah, what's the tiers for free stuff?
Well, every time you place an order on Adafruit.com and only on Adafruit.com, we're going to give you some free stuff just because we like you. You're a good person and you deserve some free stuff. So when you order $99 or more, you'll get a free permaproto half-size breadboard. It's a little PCB where you can take your projects from a half-size breadboard and then solder them onto this PCB. That's free with your order at $99 or more. $199 or more, you'll get free UPS ground shipping. That's free ground shipping in the continental United States, a little 48. It's good shipping, it's trackable, it's insured, it's going to get there when it says it's going to get there. We really like UPS ground shipping for American transport for your packages. So we'll give it to you for free when you order about $200. And for $299 or more, you'll get a free Circuit Playground Express. It's our premier all-in-one learning platform. You'll get one free with your order. It comes with LEDs and sensors and buttons and buzzers. It's programmable in Arduino, CircuitPython, code.org CS discoveries, and it also comes with Fermata, and it also comes with, you can program it with MakeCode. I think I got them all. There's so many, and they all have code in the name. So Arduino, CircuitPython, code.org CS discoveries, and MakeCode, and you can learn to program and make electronics no matter what age or experience level you are. So that's all the freebies that you get when you order from Adafruit.
A shipping note on Monday, November 12th. It's Veteran Day, so there will not be postal service order going out until Tuesday. So if you place an order on Friday after 11, it might not go out on postal until Tuesday. Forms of shipping we have UPS, postal, and DHL. UPS for US gets there trackable. Postal if you're willing to wait a bit, and DHL for international. In Manhattan for 11 a.m. you'll see a little thing. If you're in the zip code that's supported for same-day delivery, you will be able to get same day in New York City in a jiffy. People around the world showing their projects every single week, Lady Ada. This week on the show and tell, we had a bunch of folks. We're catching up. So we had some Adafruit folks, and then we had a bunch of folks that came on the show. So there's a lot this week.
Yes. Phil B was out last week because it was Halloween Eve, and he was out being a dragon. But he showed off some of the projects that he built recently. He built if you take two Halloweens, you can plug them together with a stemma cable and they can be synchronized. So you can have two eye projects. So he showed he made a naga, but he also made a cat and he made an owl, and the eyes both move in the same direction, but they're using the animated eyes code that he wrote, and then he also made a googly eye that uses the accelerometer, so when you shake your Halloween, the eye moves around like a gigantic glowing googly eye. Noah and Pedro showed off this week's 3D printed Hangouts project. It's a bike light that uses NeoPixels, CircuitPython, and it has an RGB weatherproof button that, like, the ring of the LED changes color to match what is lit on the NeoPixel. So it's a great little bike light project. It uses Feather, so it's battery rechargeable. You can just charge it over USB, and you can change the code on the fly pretty much to any design you want. And we use the fancy LED library from Phil B, so you can do like gradients and like cool effects. It's our gradient NeoPixel library. So gradients, and they're great gradients. JP showed off a MIDI synth using the Trellis M4. Not only does it send MIDI note off messages when you press the buttons, but it comes built in with an Analog Devices ADXL 343. That's a triple axis accelerometer. So as you tilt it in different ways, it'll send pitch bend and mod wheel. These are two like wheels that are usually on synthesizers, and they're like super cool. But normally you're just moving
we
this.
We have a video that we're going to show.
We'll show this video. But like normally you're just like moving this knob, and you're just like, you don't feel so cool and hardcore. But with this, you're like twisted and moving. You're dancing with it. So that's going to be tomorrow's JP's Hangouts. He's going to show you how to build that and how it works and different ways to use MIDI. So check out his video tomorrow. Kattni also had a Trellis M4 demo. She ported a basic, lights on, lights off to CircuitPython using dictionaries. It's a really great example of using dictionaries in Python. It's a very powerful data structure. And also, it's just incredibly fun to press buttons, and they light up a color, and then you press it, and the color goes out, and then you press it, and the color comes back on again. It's very entertaining, a lot more entertaining than you'd think. So she's going to put that code up soon, but it was cool to see it. Aaron made a spinner game called Spinner Spinner, What's for Dinner, using a Circuit Playground Express and MakeCode. It's a great beginner project for like you want your first Circuit Playground Express project. It'll let you decide what's for dinner, or anytime you have 10 choices you want to make, you can use this spinner project to have it guess for you what you should do. Scott had a Wireshark Beagle plugin. So the Beagle is a USB sniffer that does like hardware USB sniffing. So it's really nice because it's really good at getting all the packets. It doesn't run on your computer. It's a separate hardware. And then he uses Wireshark instead of control data. I don't remember the name of the app, but the app that comes with it does a low-level packet inspection, but doesn't do high-level packet inspection, where it actually tells you, okay, this is a mass storage packet, and here's the messages being sent. But Wireshark does that, which is free software. So he wrote a little converter that lets you take live Beagle data and pipe it into Wireshark for immediate analysis. And if anyone out there is interested in doing code like this, he could use somebody else to help him with it, because he's having a couple issues that he doesn't know how to solve. So if you're really excited about live USB packet inspection, and who isn't these days, ping him on Discord. Then we had Ben come on his first time on the show and tell. He showed off the Arduino bot. It has a blue fruit, I think probably a feather. It has a motor driver and custom 3D prints and a little like hammer. And you can use his app to make like mini battle bots, but it's like all safe, and you can't like destroy the robots because the hammer like goes down, but it's not gonna like kill everything. And you can 3D print different shells for these little robots and drive them around. So it's a fun little like educational BattleBot project.
Yeah, I like this because it's approachable, where BattleBots quickly went from, oh, that looks really cool, maybe I'll do that, to like, oh my god, it's going to be like thousands of dollars
No,
in
they're
2
bonkers.
years.
Yeah,
so
it's like a
now
life
it's super
choice.
approachable, because like there's a lot of 3D printers that are sitting around doing nothing. You can print all the armor pieces,
And they're so cute.
And then you can make these yourself. So I think this is a really good idea. Okay.
C. Scott has been so busy making event spaces. It's a company he does event spaces. He made some booths with a bunch of NeoPixels, and they actually had a bunch of NeoPixel strips left over, so he made a PCB that you can solder on chunks of like remainder NeoPixel to make into a grid. It kind of has a backing, so it's a cute idea. And it has like little 3 tabs, and you can solder it flat onto the PCB. He also made like an Atmega 1284, 1284, whatever. The like the really big sister to the Atmega 328. It only comes in TQFP, and he made a little adapter board that lets you plug it into an Arduino so that you could use it with Arduino shields. So check that out, and maybe he'll publish that. And then Adam said his things are flying off his scanning electron microscope, but he took an e-ink display that had died on him, and he actually pulled off some of the e-ink and showed the delaminated PCB, that there's a PCB backing, or like a circuitry backing. And so he showed the drivers and the like little pockets that are like conductive. There's little like pockets behind each well of e-ink, and so he showed that off on the scanning electron microscope. And he also gave a talk last weekend at SuperCon. I got a whole bunch of chips. I think his talk is online, so check that out. If you've seen him on Show and Tell and you're like, dump all your secrets and I want to know all about them, then this talk looked really cool and had great photos of close-ups of chips. So everything you've ever wanted to know about scanning electron microscopes and electronics. And
Okay.
that was a Show and Tell.
All participants on the Show and Tell get an seen on the Show and Tell sticker, unless you come on the show a lot, and then I end up just sending you something even more. But if you were on the Show and Tell, go to email support@Adafruit, and we will send you out a sticker. It's part of our Adafruit live series of shows. JP's show, I have a little snippet from last week. This is why the code is money, or Mooney, however way you want to say it. It still works when you type it in. Here we go. And here's a preview of what's going to be on tomorrow, and JP showed a little bit of this on the Show and Tell just a few moments ago. Okay, Pack the Mailbag stopping by. We read these emails, letters, tweets, and more to everyone in our all-company meeting every week called State of the Fruit. This week, this one's from Clayton. Hi, first of all, thanks for all the rad stuff you guys sell. Sitting here alone in front of the computer with debit card in hand is like leaving Dracula alone in the blood bank. I just received the slot of lumen extrusion and the connectors and screws and everything I ordered. Thanks, love the stuff. It's the erector set my parents never bought for me. It's cool.
Thanks, Clayton.
Thanks,
and
Clayton.
glad you made your childhood dreams come true.
Yeah. Don't forget, we're on adafruit.it/discord. If you haven't gone over there yet, now's a good time. So we're going to be answering questions soon. Some MakeCode news this week. There's
Dun,
news,
dun, dun.
and then there's MakeCode Minute.
Okay.
So Mike Barella, one of the engineers, works here with us at Adafruit. He went and did a class, a workshop with 4-H using MakeCode, also talking about Circuit Playground Express and things like CircuitPython. But we recently had Circuit Playground Express, the standalone unit, the base pack on the 4-H site. I was at 4-H as a kid, so this is kind of like a dream of mine. Speaking of dreams and vampires, I really wanted to have electronics and 4-H together, especially Adafruit electronics. So seeing this and Mike's presentation, and he just did a blog post. It's on the Adafruit blog right now. It's featured, so if you just go to adafruit.com/blog, you can see it. But special thanks to Mike and to Jen and to everyone at 4-H. We hope to have more Adafruit electronics in the hands of folks that are in the 4-H program coming soon. Okay, and here is a MakeCode Minute.
Discuss today on the MakeCode Minute is how to use the random block. So what you can see here inside of my MakeCode is that I've got a fairly simple sketch, and what it does is it waits for a button click. When I click the button, it's going to set all the neopixels to black, and then it's going to run through 6 times. I'm treating this sort of like a die. If you're throwing a set of dice, this is like one die. 6 times it's going to iterate through setting the value of a variable I've created called roll to, and then it picks a number, a random number between 0 and 9, and that represents the 10 neopixels on the Circuit Playground Express. So that is our random block right there. Pick random 0, 2, and I've set it to 9. Then it's going to set the pixel value of the number that gets pulled up. So let's say it rolls a 3. It's going to set that one to red. And I'm also logging that value in the console just so we can look at it for demonstration purposes. That's not necessary for the final. So let's look at it in action. When I press, now I've gotten a 4. I got a different 4. I got a different 4. I got 5. What we get from this is 6 times it's going to run through and pick a random number. There's nothing to stop it from picking the same random number on subsequent iterations through. So it's some randomness, but not quite exactly for dice rolling. So let's take a look inside of the console. What I'm going to do is actually go into this snail mode that I love so much, and I'm going to press the virtual A button. And you can see one time it's running through and it is set a pixel to red. Another time a different pixel got called. Another time a different pixel got called, and so on. You can also use the console. I won't switch to that right now in the interest of time, but you can use the console to look at the values get plotted on a graph, which is pretty cool. And you can imagine you can use randomness for all kinds of things. This one is really convenient because of how easily it slips into this variable block. So I can set a variable to a defined range, a variable within or a random number within a defined range, really easily using this pick random block. And that is one way to use randomness on the Circuit Playground Express inside of MakeCode.
Okay, and that's the MakeCode Minute with JP. Tomorrow you'll see JP's show. We have those every single week, in addition to that cool music controller that he showed off. Okay.
You'll learn all about MIDI and how to make special MIDI commands and like different cool effects you can do. And he's a MIDI expert, so you're going to learn from the best.
All right, welcome to the wonderful world of Python on hardware this week. All sorts of things: CircuitPython, micropython.
Oh, look, that's a nice animation.
Yeah, just, keeping it fresh.
That's the Repa loop made animated.
This week we released CircuitPython 3.11. This is really good for people who were loading in frozen libraries and saving some space. So check out
there's a little bit of update there. A couple bug fixes here and there. Nothing like major, but do update and make it really easy. Thanks to the UF2 bootloader. Please update to the latest. Or try the 4.0 beta.
And we released a new product. It's a big deal. It's a Python-powered musical synth. So I have a few things that goes along with this. One, Blinka, the CircuitPython snake, of course, wanted to show off. And we've been doing a lot of testing, we've been doing a lot of fun, we've been trying to see what types of things that we can do now that we can put Python on a music synth. I've been playing around with sounds. We've been watching Doctor Who, 13th Doctor Who. And I have just, I have 3 1-minute clips of just some of the experimentation I've been doing, just putting on sounds. So I wanted to show those, get comfy.
The Sonic Journey.
They're only a minute each, but it's just, that's how easy it is. You can just take sounds and then you can just toss them on and then you can do some fun tempo stuff. So here we go.
Doctor Who. Doctor Who, 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 Doctor 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 Doctor
voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, a kit if you prefer.
Yeah, someone said Circuit Cylon for the Larson schema.
Circuit Cylon.
But one other thing I wanted to show, so I'm only going to play a few seconds of this because we just migrated from HipChat to Slack as we're sunsetting, merging HipChat. So I made a Slack thing, and like if you're on Slack, you're going to be like, this would be the worst
It's
idea
because
ever.
either it's totally traumatic.
Yeah, so I'm just going to play a little
Or
bit of this one.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Anywho, so we're going to keep coding some stuff up
Yes.
in Python, playing music and more, so you'll see more Neotrellis. Other news in the world of Python, we shipped 400 badges to the Hackaday SuperCon. All the stuff's on GitHub if you want to see what we put on there, but we had a QR code for the schedule. DigiKey was our partner with this, and so you see some DigiKey there. Lots of cool things.
It was so easy. People could actually put their photos or images
Oh,
or hack
yeah.
them in like 2 or 3 minutes. So
Lots of
here's-
badge hacking going on. And like Lady Ada said, this is the first time a lot of people ever experienced CircuitPython. So I wanted to show, this is someone who was there. And the quote is, Adafruit supplied a school badge for Hackaday SuperCon that runs CircuitPython, never used before. Got imaging displaying in 5 minutes. Very nifty, worth learning more. And then Chris, who tweeted her at the same time, I don't know if he was there, but he said, CircuitPython changed the way I approach small projects now. It's easy as dragging across a file and debugging in situ on a client device without having to install an IDE. Absolute game changer. And the Adafruit boards M4, M0
That's
Express
us,
are
changing
terrific.
games,
Yeah.
updating images. But yeah, updating an image on like a badge has historically been so hard. You need an IDE, you need an FTDI cable, you need to
Yeah.
like log in, you have to download MPLAB. Now it's just you drag the file over, you're done.
So this is neat to see. I started Hackaday a million years ago, so it was neat to see Hackaday kind of fulfilling a lot of the things on my Hackaday manifesto over 14 years ago. When this event and some of the hardware that I saw there was all part of something I wanted to see.
Well, now I got a cool badge.
Yeah.
This
we'll
is
show
me.
Yeah, we'll show this video later. But this is CircuitPython and Bluefruit.
Yes, it's a big deal. If you have a Feather M4 Bluefruit and you want to use it with CircuitPython, you can. We have some example code ready for you to try out.
Okay. Also, in this week, in the world of Python on microcontrollers, check out the earrings that we linked to. And
I
is
like
in
this
the
lady's
newsletter.
hair. She's got good style.
Yeah, and she said, you know what Python runs on? Well, my earrings.
Yeah, she
So-
was doing a speech at
Yeah, this is Nina at the Pound. The tag was the
All
Pound.
Things Open.
Yeah, All Things Open.
So yeah, she's like, my earrings run Python. They were CircuitPython Gemma earrings. Neat.
The latest Casio has a firmware update that you can run Python on it. It's a MicroPython. We looked around on GitHub. We couldn't find what they're doing, but it's yet another calculator that can run some form of Python. Also posted up these cool badges. We're working on a badge right now, speaking of.
Just looking at these badges.
Yeah, we like the idea of a conference badge. We'd much rather have one that you can just write the code directly on the badge and you don't need like an IDE. So we're working on one. JP's project that from last week from the guides.
Color picker with Neo Trellis.
Yeah. And then we had some Made with Moo. This week with Made with Moo, this is our favorite editor, low cost.
Yes.
Easy. Low cost is in free.
Free.
Oh, yeah.
The freest. It runs on every operating system.
Yeah. So this is the latest Moo. This is a, you could translate it, but if you speak Spanish, this is how to use Moo with CircuitPython.
Hola Mundo.
Yeah. Also, there is a CircuitPython workshop at the CT Hackerspace. There's this really cool, this is kind of the not out yet section. Yeah, this is called SenseTemp.
This is it's a 4 times max 3565, which are PT100 or PT1000 sensors, I think. So this is a very high precision, high range temperature logger for Feather.
And we also have more updates for the folks that have been following this story. It's a Linux Feather.
Ooh, look, and it's built now. So this is the @SAM-A 507 chooses a Cortex-A processor, and it can run Linux, and it's got some chip assistance over there on the right. I think it's probably a JTAG or a USB serial converter. And they're going to bring up Linux and make a Linux Feather.
Okay, if you're interested on all things Python on hardware, go to learn.adafruit.com, so it's category Python. Go to adafruit.it/discord, go to CircuitPython channel. We also have the awesome CircuitPython list.
It's
and
awesome.
All of this comes from adafruitdaily.com, and you can get all of this in text form if you want. That
Subscribe.
is the Python on hardware news of this week.
Don't miss out. Subscribe to the newsletter.
Okay.
Code Plus Community.
Time travel, look around the world of hackers, makers, artists, engineers. This week, just wanted to mention, voting thing worked out. We didn't ship yesterday, but everything's back shipping today. Shout out to Littlebits, SparkFun, Hackster, and Adafruit. These are some of the maker companies. We emailed a bunch back in January.
Yes.
And said, hey, we're doing this.
Yes.
Adafruit's doing this for sure.
We're doing this. Don't
Do
you want to join
do
in?
this too?
Come on, peer pressure, peer pressure.
A few did, most didn't. Maybe next year, but it worked.
But the good ones did.
Yeah, but it worked. We're starting to change the narrative. It doesn't matter necessarily about the politics, but it matters if you as an employer can, if it's not going to be a national holiday, this is the next best thing.
Yeah.
So everyone was able to go and vote. A lot of people were helping people vote. There was poll workers, you name it. It was possible, but you can't do that if it's during a work day.
Yes.
So we did a paid day off for folks. So special thanks to all the maker companies out there that did it. Some other news: we hit 300 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. I was watching it, and then it just kind of flew right by.
Whew.
Zoom, I got it. Got a screenshot.
Whoa, you got it as it hit with 300,000.
Yeah, I kept hitting refresh.
Nice.
Yeah, I kept hitting
You do refresh, okay.
So thank you all, 300,000 of you.
Thanks, everybody.
Help wanted. This is our jobs board, jobs.adafruit.com. If you want to write firmware for this.
This is cool. This is like a 3D printer, but it cuts things out instead of add things on.
There is a job for you. So just go to jobs.adafruit.com. You can go to, this is one of the featured ones, Embedded Firmware Engineer, Bantam Tools. And they also have skills. So Dave, who's in the chat right now, has posted up his skills. If you need someone on his skill set.
And he's so skilled. He writes all sorts of amazing guides for us and writes codes and builds robots. You can see all the things that he's done, and maybe you want to hire him to do some stuff for you.
So it is, until someone says, no, that's true, it is the most popular maker jobs board on the planet.
It is.
Okay.
There's nothing better, ever.
Well, maybe there could be something better, but there wouldn't be as many. So I'm saying it's the largest so far, but I think it's the best.
It's the best.
Best is subjective.
I would say it's the best. It's the best maker-themed, help-wanted jobs board for getting jobs, putting jobs on. Don't forget, it's free.
Yeah.
It's free to post jobs. It's free to post your skills. So there's no cost to you.
That's right.
So you should do it.
We moderate each one because there's like scammy and sketchy things. And, unfortunately, there's things that happen to people in their lives because, like, I was lied to so much and let down. Like, I just have a really good radar for stuff. Like, we just caught some scammers trying to do some weird stuff with, like, cashier's checks and everything.
Yeah.
But we read all of the job postings. And we make sure it's not a scam, because one of the most popular scams is to get people to give personal information via jobs board. People open up a fake job on like monster.com, and then they get everyone to get all this personal information. Oh, you got the job? Sure, just give us your social security number. And then it's identity theft. So we're really pleased that we have just something that helps makers.
Stay frosty, everybody,
You have to.
because everybody out there is trying to scam you, and makers
It's
are very
not,
trustworthy.
you know, it's not everybody.
Well, sorry, there's a lot of people
It's
out
not
there.
everybody, but I think that we have to be careful, because it's human nature to say, oh, like I probably believe the thing you're
I
saying.
trust you. I want to help you. You're another human.
This level of lies is unprecedented in our species.
That's
so,
true.
So you just have to be careful.
Yes.
Anyways, so we moderate them. We look at each one and make sure it's a real job.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, we're an open source hardware company. We have 1,663 tutorials. Lady Ada, what are the guides this week?
We had a lot of amazing guides. First off, I put up the beginnings of the Trellis M4 Express guide. So if you got one of these, we sold a couple of them, and with more to the store today. You want to get started with Arduino or CircuitPython. Cadney also contributed a bunch to that. We also have a guide from Mike Stone, who helps out a lot in the forums. How to pick a microcontroller. This guide is massive. And it goes through all the different things that you're like, well, there's all these Adafruit boards. Which one should I get? And this guide kind of goes through all the different types of boards and like the pros and cons of them all. I mean, there's going to be more boards, and we'll try to add them. But for what we have right now, this is a really good range, a good guide for all the ranges that we have. We have the ReefPi 6 guide. This is pH monitoring. So previous guides were power control, temperature, water, and now it's up to pH. So you don't want your salt water or fresh water to be too acidic or too basic. So a pH monitor will help you keep track of it and warn you if your fish could get sick because of the acidity. We have the NeoPixel bike light from Knowing Pedro. It's a fully 3D printed bike light with 30 NeoPixels, and I wrote some nice code for the Feather M4 that powers it using fancy LEDs, so it uses these really cool pixel gradients. If you haven't used that library on CircuitPython, it's pretty sweet. It lets you do really easy, complicated light effects without much work at all. It kind of does all the math for you. We have the Money Mooney glowing vinyl doll friend. So using the prop maker wing, which can drive a 3-watt LED. You'll need a 3-watt LED because you can see the plastic is very thick. And a lot of the guide goes into how to cut the plastic, but once you have that 3-watt LED inside of it, you can use the prop maker wing to drive it, and use the accelerometer and the prop maker wing to also change the color when it's tilted. And you can also use the Bluetooth module built in. And like I said, we have now CircuitPython support for our Bluefruit Feather M0, so you can control it using CircuitPython only. Kattni wrote up a little keypad matrix guide. You maybe got these keypad matrices and you're like, I want to use them with the Raspberry Pi or CircuitPython board. How do I do that? Well, we've written a great CircuitPython library, and Kattni will take you through the process of wiring it up and getting it going on your Feather or your Raspberry Pi or other single board computer with Linux. We have that gravity controlled googly eye. Phil B, look, this is what you want. You want to shake your Halloween, and the eyeball moves around, and it looks adorable. So it's like a googly eye, but it's digital. So check that out if you have a Halloween and you want to do something totally ridiculous with it. And then we've got the getting started with the Hackaday SuperCon badge. Great if you want a SuperCon, but also if you didn't, maybe you want to, like how things you can do with your badge, your Halloween, how to turn it into a good event badge, put your face on it with a photo, customize what is displayed on it, and like all the different hardware and projects you can build with just the Halloween, including that googly eye. And I think that's all we had this week.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of updates to the Trellis M4 Express.
More coming soon.
Okay.
More.
All right. Main New York City, some factory footage. Take it away, Adafruit Factory. And here is out the window, New York City sunset footage. This is what our picking places go sleep to every night.
Ooh, that's a nice sunset. Ooh,
Yeah.
got nice and beautiful at the end there.
Yeah. Okay, and some 3D printing. So you saw Noah and Pedro
Did this cool bike light,
did this bike light,
but you want to make it yourself.
and then we're gonna do a sped up. So the bike light and speed
Okay.
up.
All right. Relax. Hang back.
Hey, what's up guys? In this project, we're making a sci-fi inspired bike light with Adafruit NeoPixels. Use an RGB LED button to cycle through different colors and animations. The button will actually match the colors of the NeoPixels. You can get the parts to build this project, links are in the description. Our 3D files are free to download so you can remix and modify. We designed all of the parts in CAD using our 3D parts library. They're hosted on our GitHub repo, links are in the description. The headlight is dual extruded using translucent filament to create light diffusion. Use Adafruit CircuitPython to develop code that is accessible on any computer. Check out the Learn Guide for a full tutorial on how to build this project. The 3D printed case clips onto the bike frame and the headlight attaches to the handlebars. Use hardware lock nuts to secure the 3D printed clips. JST cables make it easy to connect the NeoPixel LEDs. Just fire up the toggle switch and get ready to deploy rainbows. With the Adafruit Feather platform, we can expand this project with GPS, data logging, sound effects, and of course, more NeoPixels. So how would you modify this project? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in every Wednesday for coupon codes. Be sure to subscribe for more projects from Adafruit.
And every single Wednesday, 3D Hangouts with Noah and Pedro. Before we get on the product, don't forget AdaBox will be shipping the first weekish or so of December. So if you haven't, go to AdaBox.com. I promise you, this will be even more epic than the other ones that were epic. This
And
is,
even if you think you know what's in it, believe me, there's stuff in it that you don't know about that is going to
Yeah.
be pretty sweet.
this is a big deal. It's also a good gift for someone.
It's going to be an excellent
well.
gift for
Okay.
anybody. You'll have super fun during the holiday season. I strongly recommend you sign up, and we're only making them better and better
Yeah.
every single time.
And we do run out because we have to make sure we have enough time to
Yes.
ship them all out. So it's always
Sign
a
up.
balance of the physical
And don't forget, you
constraints
can
of the universe.
give AdaBox as a gift subscription,
Yeah.
and they'll start getting it in the holidays, and they'll get it for a year. And that's like a gift you can give someone who's really excited about electronics but is a beginner, or maybe is an expert and wants to have some fun. So we, as you know, we make every AdaBox pretty sweet. So a full year is, I mean, I wish I could subscribe because then I would like be so happy, but I have to make them. So
Yeah.
it would be kind of weird.
Okay.
New, 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 new.
All right, this week.
Okay.
Let's kick it off.
Yarn.
Yeah.
We got some yarn. We actually had this for some of our crafting and robotics projects. Okay, it's a yarn. It's made of cotton, but it's actually like really nice and strong. It's great for projects where you want like some string, and it's like colorful and it's fun, and we use it in some of our robotics projects. So yeah, I'm giving a shout out to yarn. You can knit with it, but I also think you can craft with it. we have these super fine lanyards. These lanyards featured in AdaBox 9. We only put the best in every AdaBox. And now we're going to stock these in the store so you can see modeling, the Hackaday badge logo and this cute pushing cat. These are really nice lanyards, and they have double hooks. I like the double hook style because I feel like it makes the badge sit more securely on the body. I feel like if it's a one hook, it kind of like swings back and forth a little bit too much. But this is nice. Look at how elegant that looks. So pick up one of these lovely lanyards. Okay, this is actually a customer request. They said, hey, I build boards based on Adafruit schematics and PCB files, and where do you get that micro USB connector you have? And the answer is actually, we buy them in reels of like 5,000. So we decided, okay, let's put like a 5-pack in the store. You can't get this exact pin setup that I really like. These pins are nice and wide and they're through hole, but the connection pins are surface mount. So you can use these in a surface mount process with pick and place, and you just put like paste into the through hole pads, and it makes it super secure. And Phil, I give you the boards after we make them with these micro USB jacks, and I say, hey, can you try like prying this off? And what do?
I try.
And it's hard. I mean, usually like destroy the board before the connector comes off. The PCB delaminates. So these are like, believe me, these are Lady Ada approved micro USB connectors, and it's the little things that count. Like this, having a good through-hole SMT micro USB connector makes your project work out real well.
All right, finally, a product for me. This detects lies.
It's a LiDAR.
Oh, sorry.
Not a truth dart. No, so this is a LiDAR. And this is also a customer request. And I got to admit, these are pretty sweet LiDARs. This is the RP LiDAR from RoboPeak. And usually, LiDARs are very expensive. These are, use them in, you hear about them in self-driving cars. They have a laser that shoots out, and I'll show it on the overhead, although I'm not going to do, you can't show like the data coming out. But you see that like line, it shoots a laser out, and it rotates, so it can create a 3D map of what's going on around it. Like it's a 2D flat map, but spinning around in 360-degree space. And then, of course, you can raise it and lower it with a servo or a stepper or whatever, and if you want to have a 3D mapping. So what's nice about LiDARs is they're extremely precise. You're going to get like, I think 0.2 centimeters of accuracy or precision with these. And another thing is some LiDARs don't rotate. They're just like the sensing element. With this, you actually get both the sensing element, which you can see here. There's a little laser, and then the detector that detects the bounce off. And it spins. It's kind of an open thing, so it's maybe not good for like just plopping on top of a car. You'll want to protect it. But for indoor robots, this is great. So it's got this motor, and it's got, I guess, like a Hall effect sensor, so it knows where it is, and then it has like 1 degree accuracy as it spins around, and it sends the data out over this port. And this port gives you ground, RX, and TX, so it's UART data. It's detail, I think 3-volt level data. VS0, which is V5, so it's a 5-volt logic, and that's for powering the logic of the laser and the LiDAR. Ground for ground. Control motor pin, which you can pulse high and low to turn the motor on or off, and that's connected to the DTR pin on this adapter. And V-moto, which is also 5 volts. So you can power this whole thing off of 5 volts, which is another nice thing. You don't need 12 volts for this, so you can use it with single board computers or even microcontrollers. And it comes with this handy adapter. So the adapter takes the TTL serial, the 5 volts from the USB, ground, and DTR, and you can then connect it over USB to your computer, whether it be a desktop computer like Windows or Mac or Linux, or, like I said, a single board computer like a Raspberry Pi or a BeagleBone or whatever other single board Linux computer. And you can read the data over USB. And it's just like RxTX data, so it's UART data, so it's quite simple. I even looked at it, and it looks just like you just get the point data coming out. And then you can use ROS, the robot operating system, or other SLAM generating or management software to take that data and make a map for you. So I'll just plug this in real fast just to show you kind of what it looks like when it's on. So this lights up, and then this spins. And it can do, I think, 8,000 samples per second, and it can rotate at 2 to 10 hertz. So I think you get different, precision accuracy depending on how fast you want to spin it. And then this is the kind of data you get out. So I like this. It's a really good deal. It's about $100, and you get the data out. It's super easy to use. So I'm really glad we finally have a LiDAR, and I think this is like kind of the best LiDAR that you can get for budget electronics. If you want to spend $500, you can totally get a really, really nice LiDAR. But for the price,
it's always easy to spend $500, but if you want to be smart about your spend.
Yeah, and this works great. I mean, I plugged it in, I ran some Windows software, and it just worked, which is amazing. So check it out.
All right, next up.
This is the automation bit from Pomerode. They're also from Sheffield, like Doctor Who. And maybe there's some connection there. This is a bit that you plug your microbit into, and it gives you a bunch of high voltage electronics that you can use. And I'll show this off because I want to make it super clear what you're getting, because I think some people may be confused. So you plug your microbit in. You can program your microbit with micropython or with MakeCode. They provide a MakeCode package. In micropython, you don't get a library because honestly, there's no chips on here. This is kind of all analog or level shifting type stuff that lets you control high voltage stuff. So even though this can control 24 volt max electronics, there's no 24 volt power supply on here. You would provide that through the pins. So for example, the output here, 1 and 2, this is for driving a solenoid, but you provide the 12 volts or 24 volts on the other side of the solenoid, and then this just goes to ground. You get 2 inputs, and they're buffered, so they're safe. You can have up to 24 volt input. And the analog pins also have dividers. You can see there's 6 resistors, they're analog dividers. So you can have a high voltage reading, and it will divide it down to 3 volts. And then over here is a little relay. You get the common, normally open, and normally closed, so you can use this to switch on and off, again, up to 24 volts DC of stuff. So small lamps, or maybe 12 volt electronics, small motors will absolutely work with this as well. So these are some good options for you, and I think the ULN 2803 also drives the relay as well. So this is good. You have to provide the higher voltage, but then you can use this for high voltage interfacing.
And the star of the show tonight, besides our community and Ulay data, is this. This is going to be in the store super soon. This is why we're putting in tonight.
It's coming soon. They're built. I'm just waiting for a little bit of hardware, but I thought I'd let people sign up. So this is the Cricket hat, and we'll go into this in more detail when it's super live in the store. Basically, we've taken the Cricket that everyone knows and loves. We have the Cricket for Circuit Playground Express, Cricket for Microbit, Cricket for Feather, and we made a Cricket hat. So this lets you do all sorts of advanced robotics and interactive art with a Raspberry Pi, and it does all the things that Raspberry Pi doesn't. It gives you 8 analog inputs, it has PWM outputs, it does stepper motor control, it does 2 DC motor control, it does NeoPixels, and it does the NeoPixel timing for you, so you're not using the Raspberry Pi pin 18. It has a USB to serial converter. It has 4 servo drivers. It has capacitive touch input. It even has an I2S audio amplifier. So it's kind of like an all-in-one everything hat. I'm super excited about it. We're going to do some cool projects with it coming soon. We have this Neo Trellis out, and now this Cricket hat is dropping. So this is kind of the 4th Cricket.
I'm going to break it down.
Break it down.
If you have a Raspberry Pi and you ever want to do any physical computing stuff, you need this because it's really hard to do.
Otherwise, you're gluing together 18 things.
Yeah, and you can use CircuitPython
on a Raspberry Pi now.
On a Raspberry Pi now, and it just works with all the rest of the stuff we have. So you can make an advanced robot and not spend a ton of money just with the Raspberry Pi and with Cricket and stuff you probably already have. Okay, well with that, lady, that's 2 products.
So sign up for that. Time for the recap. Recap, new time. Got some yarn. Is cotton yarns great for crafting, robotics, or making all sorts of electronic stuff be more colorful? We got this lovely lanyard with double hooks. Works great with our Halloween or any other kind of badge life project you got. Maybe you like our through-hole surface mount micro USB jacks. We got them, packs of 5. These are what we use for everything. They're awesome. Lady Ada approved. This low-cost RP LiDAR is a great beginner LiDAR. It will do 8,000 samples per second, comes with a USB dongle, and gives you this. You can get data for what's going on around your world. Use it with ROS or any other kind of SLAM technology to create maps of your surroundings.
Build that self-driving car already.
Build it already. The automation bit from Pomerone, you slot your microbit into it, and you can get a relay, some solenoid drivers, some buffered analog inputs, buffered data inputs. Great for up to 24 volts, so good for home automation projects. And coming soon, the Cricket Hat gives you all the Cricket goodness: motor control, steppers, analog inputs, servo outputs, audio output, stereo, USB serial converter, solenoid driver, all that good stuff, coming for the Raspberry Pi. So sign up now. And that was your news.
Okay, well, if you saw the stuff on the show and you want to save
You're
a
like,
buck
I
or
want to
two,
buy that. Money.
save some money.
Save some money. Get the code money.
Yeah. Let's do some top secret.
Yeah. Okay, what's this?
Well, I forgot if I showed it, but if I didn't, anyways, this is like an ornament thing.
That's a cool ornament.
Yeah. And then we have the synth, and then we have the CircuitPython on Bluefruit. So I'm going to play those two videos, and then I'm going to show off the little badgy thing. So
Go for it.
Past us, take it away.
Hey, it's post-Halloween, and I'm just here hanging out with my Trellis M4 and my skulls. And I was going to do a demo of the sequencer that Dean wrote, which is pretty cool. So you can put it into write mode, and I can select 8 different drum beats. So, oops. Okay, and then I can select maybe a clap. Maybe put that here. Maybe put one here, and then I can press play. Can add instruments to any one of the 16 steps. Can increase the tempo. They can add some effects. And the effects are controlled by the accelerometer. So when you move it, the effects activate.
What is this?
This is a CircuitPython powered Feather Bluefruit with the color picker demo working. So I can pick colors. So I could be like in a nightclub, like maybe some sort of goth nightclub.
Right. So that's your project for getting CircuitPython and Bluefruit working together.
Yep.
Mine is hits from the 90s. Okay, and since people like maybe playing video games, maybe they use Python, or maybe there's a badge, a conference badge or something, and it shows up as a USB drive and you can just code it. But this is coming soon here.
Yeah, I just brought up some hardware. It's kind of like a credit card size SAMD51 board. Kind of like a Halloween, but maybe with a little bit more screen, maybe more buttons, more NeoPixels built in.
No, it's top secret.
Ooh.
Okay, let's answer some questions.
I'd love to answer some questions.
The questions that we do, they're over on Discord.
Go to Discord.
We have almost 9,000 people. We're getting pretty close.
Don't you want to be the 9,000th or 10,000th person? No, you want to be the one before then. Get on Discord.
It doesn't matter which one you are, as long as you're one of them.
As long as you're one of them.
So adafruit.it/discord. I had a couple lined up here. Is there an interrupt pin on the Cricket Hat?
I'm so glad you asked. Yes, there is. You can even see it in the photos. It's labeled IRQ.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
other side? Or not?
It's very small. Yeah, flip it over to the other side, and then at the very top,
Oh yeah.
there's a little thing that says IRQ, and there's one that says
Yeah.
reset. You could reset and interrupt.
I see. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that one over. Let's see if
Okay,
there's.
good. That was easy.
I guess there's some Doctor Who fans in Discord, so they're like reminiscent about some good episodes here.
Okay.
And I guess also with the eyeball code, if you actually shake it violently, eventually you can get the eye to
Oh, that's cool.
pop out. Okay.
Bonk.
Can the new LiDAR be run with CircuitPython, and can a Cricut handle data from the LiDAR?
Well, I think the LiDAR data comes out really fast. So, yeah, you can use CircuitPython, but I really think you need a very powerful computer. I think maybe an M4 could handle it. I mean, 8,000 samples per second is like, it's one hand it's a lot, on the other hand it's not. I think a Raspberry Pi with Python would be the best, and I believe they even have code for parsing it within Python. But again, you have to take that point data and turn it into a map. And so, that's where your robot skills kind of have to go in, because this just gives you those point clouds, and then you'll have to turn that into a map.
The good news is,
But there's example code.
every few months, we're just running Python faster. And there's always something faster coming along, and like an M4 and like Moo and that. You could do some cool stuff with
I mean,
it. Like,
definitely the
look at
LiDAR
you could do
with the
some fun
Cricut
data
hat
logging.
would
Yeah.
be an excellent pairing.
Okay. Let's see. Is there a USB data logger? Well, sort of.
We have the USB ADA logger feathers. We have
Yeah.
the 32.4 and M0. They're great. They come with an SD card slot. We have example code for using them. And with CircuitPython or Arduino, you can do a lot of data logging very easily, and you get exactly the data you want. So not just analog data and digital data, but you can add sensors as feather wings and then log that.
Yeah. And I think that's what they mean, because I think not logging like the
USB?
USB data.
Well, if you want to log USB data, we stuck
we have
those
the
two.
Beagle. Yeah, that's what I was like. Well, sort of like it's either a data logger that can be plugged into USB or a USB data logger. We happen to have both.
Is it a USB data logger or a data logger
Yeah.
USB? I don't know.
But that's why I'm like, sort of.
Well, we got
both.
you covered both ways.
We got both. Okay. I heard that Google Plus is shutting down. If that's true, what we use for show and tell? Well, good question. We're always ready to completely get let down by Google in some way.
That's totally what they do.
So, like, you name it. Like, I pull this lever and everything just changes. But we're probably going to use a combination of things. We're going to see which one works best. We might alternate it. But your viewing experience will always be the same. We'll probably always be on YouTube live in some way, but we'll probably use Appear In and or Discord. But the whole trick is you want to have it so people can easily get onto the show some way. So since a lot of folks are on Discord, we might use the Discord group video. There's also Appear In. There's lots of ways that we can do it. Don't worry, we've been doing this for like almost...
We've been let down by like 6 services so far.
Almost like 10 years we've been doing this. Okay, let's
Just like there's like 18 doctors, there's been like 6 different...
this is like the 14th iteration of me doing live video on the internet. Okay, let's see. Discord bot for show and tell. Yeah, I might do that. Let me see if I think I got all this.
Okay, it's just all Doctor Who now.
Not really a question, but a comment. I didn't realize there was a guide for Discord. It's super useful for learning this week. This is, oh yeah, you can, there is a guide you can just search for this, but you can put code inside of Discord. People
Oh,
wanna know.
yeah, you can triple quote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make it super easy. It's not, it's designed for gamers and has not been as, they do have code support for stuff, but they're not as clear about that.
Yeah. When will the one robot to rule them all kit start shipping? Well, we kind of have this robot friend thing.
Yeah, and it's not robot ruling, it's robot partnership.
We hope everyone wants to be
Yarn.
friends. And then Scott has mentioned, by the way, Hangouts might not even shut down. It's a very useful service. They might shut down Google Plus, but not Hangouts. So we're ready. I mean, like, whatever. Like,
Believe me, we're always ready for Google Friends.
Here's the thing. Whether you're running a community or a website or a store or a company or really anything, you just have to be able to adapt and be robust enough to, like, as things change, you're not completely screwed over.
Yes.
So, like, okay, cool. One video service gone next. I mean, we used to use Ustream, and then it wasn't working, and then IBM bought it, and then it kind of like everything stopped working.
We used after Ustream for a while. We used.
We always said we had YouTube, and we have Twitch, and we have Mixer.
Yeah.
We have Facebook, but Periscope.
There's something after Ustream for Hangouts, though. I don't know what it was.
No. Yeah, see? Sometimes you even forget entire platforms.
I know.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for me?
All right. That's it.
Okay, let's give away something.
Okay, what do you want to give away this
I
week?
want to give away this automation bit because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, what are the rules?
Rules are if you've won something before, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The winner will get a automation bit for microbits. This is great if you have a microbit, but you know what? You can also maybe solder to it and use it even if you don't have a microbit. When the phone number appears, call the phone number. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to say, ahoy, ahoy. That's how you know it's me and not anybody else. And then maybe you'll say ahoy, ahoy, and I'll say, great, you've called Ask Engineer and you're the winner. You'll say, what's your name, where you're calling from, and something that you're building or you want to build or make. And then if you can do all those things, you'll be the winner. And this is the phone. So when it rings twice,
Yeah, just call this number and bits it up.
I'm going to say ahoy, ahoy. And don't hang up on me, please.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Let's see if anybody calls.
I think I got through all the rules.
Yeah, you got through the
And you'll
rules.
get this automation bit. Because that's cool.
We're gonna give away this thing.
Yeah. Because the crickets don't exist yet. I'd give one away, but we don't have any. But we will soon.
Let's see if anybody calls.
Come on, you want to win something. Win this
Sometimes,
automation.
by the way, sometimes we use Google Voice. Speaking of Google,
Speaking of Google,
yeah, maybe they. Sorry, folks, we're out of the phone biz.
we'll wait till somebody calls.
We'll call the phone. I always give it like 3 minutes. We've had like 1 week once where there wasn't a call, and then we just saved it up for next week. Here we go.
There you go.
See, it always,
there you go.
It always happens. It's just when you think it's not going to happen, it happens. Okay,
Ring twice. Okay.
go for it.
Ahoy, ahoy. Hi there. You called Ask Engineer and you've won a fabulous prize.
Sweet, I already won something. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, hi. Okay.
Well, that's fine. No, that's totally okay.
You know what? Wait. Yeah, I was going to give you the prize anyways, but you hung up on me.
Too bad. That's nice that you called.
Okay, well, thanks for calling and saying hi. At least we know the phone works.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. We're gonna give away 2 things next week.
Next week, 2 things.
All right. I'm turning off the phone.
Thanks, everybody.
And that was a trivia question. Okay. Well, that's it for tonight, everybody. That's the show, Lady Ada.
Thanks, everybody. That was an awesome show. We got through so much.
Yeah.
We went over because we were jam-packed full of news and goodies.
And don't forget the codes. Money. Save 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Don't forget Show and Tell, 7:30 on Wednesdays. Pedro Show, JP on Thursdays. So we got a full week, every single week, to keep you busy.
You can just don't even have to turn on TV to watch anything else. You can just watch makers making cool creative stuff.
Yep. And here is your moment of Xenar.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.